Dragons a myth? How funny how the entire world describes the same creature. Scales, wings, fire, long before continents ever met. We're told they're just stories. But think for a second, how did humans know what dragons looked like if no one ever saw one? Maybe dragons aren't fantasy. Maybe they're history. A history someone tried to bury. Let's talk. Around the globe, from Poland to China to Mesoamerica to Africa, cultures separated by oceans somehow drew the same beast. No TikTok, no Google, no shared mythology, yet the same image. Large reptilian body, winged, serpent-like. Terrifying. Intelligent? How? Coincidence or collective memory? You decide. Welcome to House of Valtheris. Let's go deeper. Universal memory. Let's start with the most uncomfortable truth. Nearly every ancient culture depicted dragons. China, long revered celestial dragon, wise, powerful. Source, Chinese mythological canon. Earliest forms traced to Shang Dynasty artifacts, 1600, 1046 BCE. Europe, the worm-winged reptile, fire-breathing, lives in mountains. Mesoamerica, 𝐞𝐥𝐴, feathered serpent. Mesopotamia, Tiamata primordial sea dragon. Australia, rainbow serpent giant scaled serpent, creator, lives in rivers. Different continents. Same creature. How do you explain that? People hallucinated the exact same thing worldwide? Or maybe they all remembered something real. What do you think? Real records. Most people think dragons only exist in fairy tales, but ancient historians treated them as fact. Pliny the Elder, 1st century a Roman historian, not a fantasy writer, described enormous flying serpents in India and Ethiopia. I document something fake as nonfiction, unless he believed eyewitnesses. Actual evidence, let's look at the uncomfortable stuff. Wawel dragon bones. Krakow. Poland at Wawel Cathedral. Massive bones hang at the entrance. Locals have claimed for centuries they belong to Smok Wawelski, a dragon. Modern scholars say they're whale or mammoth bones. But Poland is landlocked, no whales. So how did whale bones get there hundreds of years ago? And why did medieval people insist it was a dragon? Were they just stupid? Or did they know what they saw? The Klagenfurt dragon skull, Austria in 1335. Workers found a huge skull in a pit near Klagenfurt. Locals believed it was a dragon, lindworm. Centuries later, scientists identify it as a woolly rhinoceros skull, Ice Age. Look closer, the skull has a crest and jawline eerily similar to classic European dragon artwork, made long before science knew about extinct rhinos. So were medieval people just ignorant? Or accurately identifying something we renamed? Dragon bones in China. For centuries, Chinese villagers dug up fossils and used them as medicine, calling them longu, dragon bones. This is historical fact. Why did they call them dragon bones? Because that's what they believed they were digging up, and many of those fossils weren't fully identified. Even stranger, some fossils labeled dinosaur today do not fully match known species. Just saying. Similar accounts. Same creature, different eras. Different continents, same monster. Europe monks and chroniclers documented flying serpents for centuries. Gervase of Tilbury, 1210-1214, described dragons over England's sword. 1572. France, villagers shot a winged serpent. Remains reportedly taken to King Charles IX. Were all these people hallucinating at the same time, in different places? But why the same anatomy? Ancient carvings show wing joints, muscle definition, scale patterns, tails with bone segmentation. That's not imagination, that's observation. How could someone carve wing tendon placement without seeing it? Even medieval artists couldn't invent accurate anatomy of animals no one had documented yet. Yet dragons are often drawn with precise structure. Like someone saw one. Fire breathing. Impossible? People love to laugh here. Fire breathing? Lowell. But nature already has. Bombardier beetles, shoot boiling chemicals, electric eels. Emit electricity spitting cobras, spray venom skunks. Chemical projection, deep sea fish. Internal chemical reactions. Why couldn't a large reptile evolve chemical projection? Methane plus spark-producing minerals, fuse flame. Not magic. Biology? If bombardier beetles exist, why not dragons? Misidentified dinosaurs? Classic argument. Those were dinosaurs. Dinosaur fossils are 65 million years old. Dragon stories are thousands. But here's the issue. Many fossils labeled dinosaur were found near medieval settlements, meaning humans and bones coexisted. And before the word dinosaur was invented in 1842, people called them dragons. So did paleontology simply rename dragons? Convenient. Why cover it up? If dragons were real, why erase them? Simple, control. A creature humans couldn't tame. Something stronger, smarter, deadlier. You think kings would like that? Church leaders? Governments? No. The easiest way to control a terrifying truth is to turn it into a bedtime story. Dragons? Just fairy tales. Case closed, don't investigate. No threat. If no one believes they were real, the story dies and power stays balanced. Where did dragons go? Maybe they went where mammoths and saber-tooths did. Extinction, or they went where we can't follow. Deep forests, mountains, underwater cave systems, deserts, 80% of Earth's species remain undiscovered. That's not a conspiracy, that's science. If giant squid stayed hidden until the 2000s, who's to say something bigger didn't slip away centuries ago? Here's what we know. Nearly every culture described identical. Creatures ancient historians wrote about them as fact medieval. Europe kept dragon skulls and bones on. Display China used real fossils as dragon bones in medicine fossils. Sometimes appear where no marine animals should. Bones don't match known dinosaur species anatomical. Drawings show realistic structure many. Sightings recorded over centuries coincidence? Or suppressed memory? At some point, you must decide whether you believe ancient people were all crazy, or they describe something real, because they can't all be wrong, right? So tell me, what do you think? Drop your ideas in the comments. What creature or myth should we investigate next? And if you want more stories the world tries to bury, hit subscribe, House of 𝐕𝐵𝐺, where myth becomes truth.